What is up, everyone? This I am so unprepared for this conversation. I don't know how this conversation is going to go. This is the first time that I've talked about this publicly and almost to anyone, man, almost to anyone. But this I want to talk about my Power Word Fail audition and how it went and how it transpired and everything else that behind that and why I'm so attached to Power Word Fail. It's wild, man. I don't have any notes. I'm just gonna be rambling. So anybody who checks this out, just know that there's no structure to anything that I'm about to say. This is just me talking. But I guess just to start it off, I'm a little nervous, just a little nervous. I This day a year ago, I was married for a long time, and my wife came up to me and basically we're divorced now. We're not gonna get into the reason why. Well, a little bit of reason why. There She grew up like super Christian. She's been in church since birth. Basically, she was born in church. Me, I'm the complete opposite. I didn't know anything about um, Christianity until I met her for real. But fast forward, she got me in church. Blah blah blah. Then one of my buddies was like, "Hey, have you ever played D&D?" Well, at that time, Heroes Unlimited, but it branched out to D&D, and I fell in love with D&D and all the tabletop board games, so on and so forth. And it didn't mesh well with my wife. A lot of other stuff I'm skipping over too, the importance of marriage and all that, blah blah blah. But one thing that stuck out to me was she sent me one time when we were going through the divorce. I cannot support your D&D lifestyle, and D&D was like something that brought me joy, that made me excited, that I loved. But apparently, D&D is the devil, so satanic panic. but but she said that to me, and I was just like wow, like this thing that I really enjoy is just like so whatever. And I we ended up splitting up. I was distraught. I was depressed. This person I spent so long with, one of my hobbies, have destroyed. And I know it just wasn't that hobby, but that's just what was said at the time, and that's what I chose to focus on. So what else could I do at that point but dive deeper into D&D? So I started doing so much more D&D stuff and putting so much more time into D&D. Started finding podcasts to listening to, and I was already listening to the Homebrew at the time. And I remember they came on Dungeons and Dragons and Dungeons and Daddies, and it was like, "Hey, come listen to us." And I listened to them, and then they were like, "Hey, we also have other shows, Kaleidosphere, I forgot what the name used to be, and Power Word Fail." And I think they played a snippet of it, and I was like, "Power Word Fail, like that's a play on Power Word Kill or Power Word Hill or whatever." So I was like, "I'll give that a listen." Instantly fell in love with the show the first episode. And this is why I say this. Like, I'm depressed, trying to find any kind of outlet, not getting into therapy, doing all this stuff. And Carlos goes at the end of the episode, "You are loved, you are important, and you matter." And I was just like, "Carlos, you're speaking to me." So, yeah, I mean, so I quickly formed an attachment to Power Word Fail, because I felt the emotional connection of what was happening in my life and the genuine connection of Carlos. There's so many times that I would listen to Power Word Fail, and I would just have to finish talking to my ex-wife or something Saul would trigger me, because going through divorce is a rough business. And I would be triggered, and then I was like, I'm just gonna listen to Power Word Fail. And at the end of the episode, Carlos would say the thing, and I'd be like, oh man. Oh. But yeah, so where we are in Power Word Fail now, everybody should know that Spunk has died. And Terrell stepped away from the show. So I guess they liked having 6 people on the show. So one day I logged into the Discord and I saw somebody talking about auditions, and I saw auditions somewhere. It might have been Twitter. And I was like, yo, I'm good at D&D. I'm a people person. I love like all this stuff, so I can do this. Still going through a divorce though. So I was like, I'm gonna audition. So I think they had a form where you had to submit like characters that would fit in the show or whatever, blah blah blah. At that point I wasn't even caught up to Spunk's death. I think I was a little bit past Evangeline's death. I was probably like 5 or 6, 7 episodes in. And so I was like, I put in my my thing. It was like, listening to a podcast is no big deal. I can crank out 12 episodes in like a day or 2. So I put that out there, and then I started listening to Power Word Fail. I was at work with my Bluetooths in, and just listening to Power Word Fail, working, coming home from work. My life was listening to Power Word Fail so I can get caught up. And when I had my interview with Carlos, nothing would be said. So Carlos messages me. He's like, and I didn't catch up. I was like 3 episodes behind when he talked to me or something. I still didn't know Spunk died, but it was cool. Like he was like, hey, can I call you on Discord or whatever? And I was like, cool, yeah, all right. He instantly, when talking to Carlos, I was like, I got so nervous. I was like, man, this is Carlos. This is Carlos. Hold on. Like, his voice is amazing. Like, he has a voice for radio or weather or whatever you want to say. Carlos has a really good voice. So I instantly start to panic. I was like, this is Carlos. I'm talking to Carlos. So we started talking, and he was telling me how everything's supposed to go. He was like, hey, this is like, you get to know me. Later on, you get to know the cast. You might do a one shot, and we'll see who sticks out the most. But like for right now, the next step is I want you to create. I want you to create an audio podcast of why you should be selected to be on Power Word Fail. And I was like, man. Okay. He was like, just keep it around 5 minutes. Keep it, do whatever you want with it. Have fun. And I was like, are we allowed to edit? And I'm asking him questions. He's getting to know me. And I'm like, man, he asked me, did I have a studio mic? And I was like, no, I'm actually using my Astros right now. Do I sound okay? He was like, yeah, you sound great. Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. And my Astros were going out at the time. So I was just like, all right, I need to replace these. But yeah, so he told me the steps. So the next thing I had to do was create an audio reason of why they should select me to be on Power Word Fail. I was like, bet I can do this. So the next thing I did was buy like studio equipment. I bought like a Yeti mic. I bought like some noise canceling stuff. I bought like this stand. I bought new webcam. I bought I spent some money. I spent some money on this equipment. So the equipment came in, and I was gonna still got 30 minutes before the live show. The equipment came in, and I was gonna do this. Hey, I'm Darius. Thanks for looking at me, I think I should be chosen for this for blah, blah, blah reason. Just 5 minutes of me talking about why I should be on Power Word Fail. And in my head, that's what Carlos asked for. And then I was getting my friend to like proofread my script or listen to it. And she was like, man, this is pretty bland, cut and dry. And I was like, really? Well, I don't know what to do. So we started brainstorming. She helped me a little bit. She was like, why don't you do like a game show? And I was like, there's an idea. So we came up with this idea of me being on a game show called There Can Only Be One. So during this game show, I'm the final contestant, and there can only be one because one person is chosen to be on Power Word Fail, and all these other people are auditioning. So I do that, and I make the script for it. I get somebody to proofread it again. They love it. I'm like, I'm going to do some editing, which I didn't want to do editing. I just wanted to show off my vocal skills. Which anyway, I wanted to show off my vocal skills, but I was like, all right, I'm going to edit this, do this. And I made this whole studio broadcast, 90s game show, 80s game show type feel to it. 90s. And I did that. I sent it in to Carlos on whatever day, and he did ask me for did I have any other like socials or any other content he wanted me to see. And like I was like, well, I record my D&D sessions, so I mean, I recently deleted them all because we finished the campaign. But I had the interview with my players, so I sent them the interview of me and my players, which was cool. So when it was time to send in my recording, I was like, all right, Carlos, and I'm reading what I sent Carlos. All right, Carlos, I decided to go with something a little bit more fun. I hope everyone likes it, and if not, do me a favor and block me and kick me from the Discord, Carlos. The file is called There Can Only Be One. Let me know if you have any problems with it in WAV format. Let me tell you something. Not much Carlos can do wrong in my eyes, but I sent this man that message December 2nd. I send him another message December 9th. Hey, Carlos, I don't want to bother you. Just making sure you got that file okay. Because in my head, I got eliminated. I was like, man, I haven't heard nothing from Carlos in like a week. Let me see how bad this was. Because, I was expecting something and him to be like, I got it. Like, we're going to look it over and decide. But he messages me back that day and says, I did get it. No decisions have been made. And we are reviewing all applicants' reels. I said, okay, great. I was worried I did the wrong thing or something. I didn't hear from you. Thanks for the reply. All right. If you're caught up on Power Word Fail, I'm not there. I didn't get chosen. But in my head, I was like, I got chosen. That was amazing. That was an amazing audition. I'm going to put it at the end of this video for those of you who want to listen. But I was like, that was an amazing video. I did my thing on there. So going through a divorce again. I just throwing that out there, going through this divorce. I was shopping for furniture. I was looking because wife took everything. Left me with nothing. I ain't getting nothing. So I'm in the furniture store shopping for a couch. I'll never forget. I walked in and I was like talking to this lady, and my phone goes off, and I got a little smartwatch, and I look at the smartwatch, and it was like, Carlos. I was like, all right, here we go. And I was like, give me 1 second. Open the Discord, look at it, and I'm going to read what was sent. Hello. I wanted to take a moment personally to thank you for taking your time to signal your interest in the Homebrew Network. Right then. Right? Not yet. After much deliberation, we have chosen our next castmate for our Power Word Fail show. There were a ton of great applicants. You're among them, and so many have shown interest in the community and content that we're creating. The factors we considered were equipment, experience, engagement, and a unique fit to the cast of that show. I want to encourage you to stick around and in Discord. More opportunities will arise. Thank you. I read this in this store. This lady comes up and she's like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And I was like, just speechless. I was just speechless. I was like, I remember just standing there like, God, I am a failure. And then I just walked out of the store. I just walked out. I sat in the car for like 30 minutes just being like, dang, that's messed up. And I'm trying not to cry thinking about it. Carlos sent me that message at 2:23 p.m. So at 2:44, I responded. Did I just get a copy and paste reply? You were supposed to block me and kick me from Discord, dude. But seriously, thank you for taking the time to consider me and review my audition. I can't wait for my next opportunity. Any advice or notes for me to work on until then? Because I'm distraught. I'm heartbroken. But I'm like, all right, if there's something I can work on, if it's just my voice, if it's just like I didn't do what they asked me to do, if it's something, then I can be like, I can focus on that. And then I can get better at that. And then I won't be a failure. I won't like have this hobby that my wife at that time that I assumed that she left me over for. So I was like, there has to be something I can work on. And of course, Carlos doesn't know any of this. He's just like, oh, regular dude, regular talk. He responds, I would say that in this situation, it's a bit more nuanced, looking for one spot versus 5 to 6. I would say keep going and be encouraged and keep bringing people in. Because I've been a supporter of Power Word Fail since I listened to it. But that didn't tell me anything, Carlos. I don't know what to work on. I don't know how to be better. I fell into despair at this point. I was like, well, I responded normal because I didn't want to, like, just in case my next opportunities came up, I didn't want to throw that off or, like, mess that up. So I said, will do. Thanks again, Carlos. So in my head, I'm going through different things of, like, what it could be, why I didn't get selected. And I'm just going to be completely transparent and honest with my thought process at the time. I was like, man, I just randomly thought I wasn't good enough. I'm trying to think of what I was thinking about at that time, but I remember going, I think I didn't have enough like social media presence because Carlos did ask me like where he could find me, and I was like, I got a failed YouTube channel that has like content I keep dropping, and I don't know if he went to go look at that, but I was just like, yeah, don't go look at that. It's like I see. So I remember I was like, maybe I'm not like, I forgot the word I used, but like, I don't bring them any revenue socially. Like, of course I can play D&D, I can voice act, I can probably role play, but am I bringing people with me? Or people coming to see me? So I was just kind of like, maybe that was it. So in my head, I was like, let's start making content again and let's stick with it. So I started making like TikToks, Power Word Fail. I make this TikTok, which I was already planning to do, but I didn't want to do it and like influence them. Like, hey, I'm making this content because I want to be on your show. No, I'm making this content because I really love your show. But so I waited before I made the content, and I remember they were about to like go do something special and go do something big in the show, and I made a TikTok about it, and I posted it in the Homebrew, the Power Word Fail channel, and Carlos messages me. He was like, "Bruh, I love your vid. Let's make a quick NPC together," and I will put him in the show. Usually only for Patreons, but I love your vid so much. And I want to honor your work. And at that moment, I was like, does Carlos feel guilty for not choosing me? Does Carlos, like, does he wish? I was just kind of like, yeah, man, I would love that. So I had a couple of characters that I wanted to run by Carlos if I got chosen to be on Power Word Fail. And I'm still going to keep those secrets just in case your boy does get on that show. But I ended up making okay, yeah, there it is. I ended up making a turtle. He was a paladin, Oath of Vengeance, and if you needed a subclass, he was about 38 years old. His name was Sir Edwin Brokenshell. And I picked a number between 1 to 100, and I got 45. And then Carlos responded, "Oh boy, I love that. I will, I can't wait to like put him in the show, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "I'm glad you like it. Cough, cough. This was going to be my character I pitched to you. Cough, cough." But, yeah. So then it came out that Allie was picked to be on Power Word Fail, which... got nothing against Allie. Love Allie. She was like, I remember when she joined the Discord, and I was like, she's just into Power Word Fail as me. But I didn't know she got chosen to be on the show. And she was doing TikToks. She was doing all this stuff. And then like somebody was like, she's on Power Word Fail, right? And I was like, wait, what? And she was like, yeah, her little banner's red. And I was like, oh, dang. I've been fraternizing with the enemy. Anyway, just a joke. I love Allie. I immediately messaged Allie in the Discord, was like, hey, Allie, can I send you a DM? She was like, nah, bro. I was like, dang. What I wanted to know from her was, I just wanted a copy of her audition. I was going to send her my audition. I was like, hey, I didn't get chosen. I wanted to know why and like, how you were better than me? Well, she was like, nah, so I just left it alone. I didn't want to be cringed in the chat. So I just left that alone. But I do wonder like how her audition looked. So I left that alone. And I mean that basically was it. I've bounced back since then. I've started doing these videos. Again, just because I enjoy Power Word Fail. I love Power Word Fail. I'm still active in the Discord. I kind of went through depression again, and then disappeared from the Discord. And this might be one reason why I love Pickles so much, is that Andy will check on me. Haven't seen Miles in a while. Where is he at? And I'm like, oh, dang, somebody cares about me? Somebody actually cares enough to acknowledge, like, to tag me and acknowledge me and know that I haven't been around in a while? But no, I love Pickles because of their attitude. I love those attitude characters. But I mean, that's one thing. Like, this group, they're like, hey, this person who was active is not active anymore. Let's, what's up? So yeah, I mean that's basically what happened. I did go through a couple of things. Like I was like, well, the homebrew was basically like a lot of dudes. You had Grant, you had Pippin, you had Tyrell, you had Cody, You had Austin, who were original 5, and then they branched out. And I don't know how they branched out. Like Sanity Damage, I think those were all dudes. And then Power Word Fail was like you had Katie and you had Andy, who were girls. So in my head, I was like, oh, they just need more girls. And then they had World Weavers. And I know they got quite a few girls on there. So in my head, I was like, they wanted some more girls, you know, just justifying things in my head. And then I was like, man. But anyway, I'm just rambling. That is the end of like where I was in my audition. I'm pretty sure I'm leaving things out, but I'm still waiting for the next audition. I have a great idea to show off my range and my whatever I bring to the table. I'm trying to get more social media involved so I can bring more to the table. Since I don't know what I was supposed to be working on and why I didn't get chosen, so I'm just working on everything. But yeah, so that is like how my audition went. I didn't get chosen, but I was going through a rough time, but I didn't give up, and that is the important thing. And that is one thing that end of every Power Word episode helped me so much. Because just Carlos saying you are loved, you matter, and you're important meant so much to me at that time. So, you know, just because things don't go your way, don't give up. Try again. Who knows what's going to happen? But again, I will insert this. I will insert my audition, my actual audition that I did at the end of this video, which should be coming up now. Don't at me. I mean, you can at me. I think my voice, what I did, I hate the sound of my voice. I hate listening to recordings of myself. Everybody tells me they like my voice, and I can do, like my D&D party tells me I can do interesting voices. But I hate listening to recordings of my voice because it just all sounds the same. But I did this audition, and it was corny. Like, I don't want to pick it apart because I had fun doing it. But, you know, so I'm not going to pick it apart. But I mean, just let me know what you think. If you liked it, you did. If you're on my side and I should have been on Power Word Fail, let me know. But just let me know what you think. It means a lot to me. This show, these people, everybody, it means so much to me. It was a very traumatic time in my life, and I latched on instead of seeing a therapist. Therapists are expensive, okay? But it got me through some rough times. I'm a lot better now, and I'm ready to go, and I'm pushing through. So, you guys, thanks for tuning in to Miles TV. I hope you enjoy this recording. Bye.
Hi, I'm Chuck Darrington, and you're watching There Can Only Be One. Today, we have someone really special. Tell the folks at home who you are.
Hey, I'm Darius. I'm from Alabama, and I'm 32 years old. Is this live? Can I give my mom a shout? Hey, Mom, I love you.
All right, Darius, you're here to impress the judges. We're going to ask you a few questions, and if they like your answers, you may have a shot at being the one. So let's get started. How long have you been playing tabletop RPGs?
Well, I've been playing for about 10 years now, and I've been DMing for the past 3 years of that.
Oh boy, where does the time fly? Can you list a few games you've played?
I sure can, Chuck. I've played Heroes Unlimited, Shadowrun, Monster of the Week, Cyberpunk, I won't be going back to that one, and most of all, D&D.
I guess it's true what they say. No one makes it out of Night City alive. So what got you into playing D&D?
Well, Chuck, pen and papers were something I didn't realize I was missing in my childhood. When I watched adventures of cartoons like Dragon Ball Z and playing games like The Legend of Zelda, I always envisioned myself as a character adventuring beside them, imagining what I would say, how I would help, and how I would feel. I'm very empathetic when it comes to these things, so I've always put myself in these characters' shoes. When I make a character, I am that character. How they manage themselves in their emotions.
Whoa, can you imagine yourself in my shoes?
Those shoes are too big to fill, Chuck.
And don't you forget it. So what do you do in your downtime or when you can't play D&D?
Well, Chuck, when I can't play D&D, I try to find podcasts to get my next fix. If I can't be there, at least I can imagine being there. I quickly fell in love with the homebrew and I joined the Discord and immediately asked how I could play with everyone.
Jumped the gun there a bit, huh? So what other hobbies do you have besides D&D?
Well, I watch a lot of anime. I play video games, I go to the gym, and I'm also a musician.
Wow, a jack of all trades, huh? So what's your favorite race and class to play in D&D?
I've always loved a good Warforged, but my robot voice isn't the best. I've always loved monks because they can punch things 27 times in a churn, but I haven't had a chance to play one yet. Maybe one day.
Well, maybe when all your chakras are aligned. Hey-o! So have you had any problems at any tables?
No, I'm an easy person to get along with. Every group I've had the opportunity of playing with has welcomed me back to their table, so no issues there.
Uh-oh, you know what that means, folks. It's our bonus round. Okay, Darius, you get to act out a scene of the judges' choices. Let's see what they pick. D&D, no surprise there. Star Wars. Useless inventions. We will have our lovely assistant here help you out. All right, take it away. Come in.
Spine? The council wants to see you.
Tell them I'm busy.
They said it was really important.
Let me guess. Faster turbines for their airships.
Nope.
They need power sources for their factories.
Not that either.
Oh, is it a way to breathe underwater without the use of magic?
Wait, you can do that? No, it's not that either.
I bet it's a way to preserve meats for longer period of time. Well, tell them they can't have my cold box.
No one wants your cold box. They want to give you a seat on the council. They finally recognize your talents and contribution to the kingdom. So get your ass down there. I heard they were even thinking about making you a master.
Oh, well, why didn't you lead with that? Come on, Vistra. We can't keep them waiting. Hurry along. All right, Darius. Any final words for the judges?
I love the group. I would really cherish this opportunity to play one of my favorite games with everyone. It would be awesome to spread the joy of pen and papers on the homebrew platform. I hope to hear from you guys very soon.
All right, judges. Wait, what's that? Well, folks, it looks like we're out of time. Well, alrighty then. Tune in next week to see if Darius will have a shot at being the one. Good night, everyone. I've been Chuck Darrington, and don't forget to have your pets spayed and neutered.